Hey there, Peanuts fans. This is Chris Drabik at the Potomac Nationals. I'm joined here by Peanuts reliever James Bourque. James, thank you for joining me here today. We spoke a little earlier this season when you were kind of beginning your transition to a relief role this season, and it's been great success ever since. Great first half, starting the second half strong. You noted some of the adjustments you've had to make begin this season, adjusting to being a reliever. Continuing on the season, how has that transition been for you? I know this guy's been there in the field, but just personally, how has that been?
It's been great. I mean, I mentioned earlier how I really enjoy kind of hanging out in the bullpen and, being able to just hang out with the guys and kind of take in the game, and then, your name gets called and it's like all of a sudden you got to lock in and go do it. But, I mean, so far it's been a lot of fun.
In a situation like that, maybe the day after you pitch, you're probably going to be off that day, but if you're hot down in the pen, how do you just snap into, hanging out, watching a start or two? Okay, I got to get ready.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that took a little bit of adjustment. You kind of have to find your own routine. So for me, I kind of moving around in like the 5th, 6th, 7th innings, and then, I just have my, kind of little 30-second routine that I got when the name gets called, and then you got to get right on the mound and be ready to go.
Now, when you've gotten the mound and gotten ready to go, it's been great results this year. Second most saves on the team. We talked off camera a little bit how there was a game or two, maybe just like any pitcher, a little bit of struggles, but you've come out after that and had a great start to the second half of the season. For you, a guy we mentioned transitioning to a relief role, how important is it to face those struggles and then come out in a positive way?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little 4 or 5 game stretch where things didn't go so well, but you kind of figure out what you need to do and who you are as a pitcher and a baseball player, really. So looking back on it now, I'm not going to say I was super excited that it happened, but, you kind of grow from it. So I guess, in the end, it's been better.
And obviously, he has come out on the other end. Fans, if you don't know, James Bourque is on a season-high record for scoreless innings right now by a Peanuts reliever. So he looks to continue that against this series against the Salem Red Sox. But for you personally, we were saying you and a guy like Jordan Mills, who is leading the team in saves, you guys have been the ones that we've seen manager Keys return to in the late innings, those high leverage save situations. Do you enjoy that, the high intensity? I imagine that's got to be your reliever's favorite time of the game. How do you prepare for that, and how do you live that on the mound?
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely my favorite. You get some more adrenaline. Sometimes you kind of lose it out there, and you're just like wrapped up in the game. But I mean, it's a lot of fun. When the game's on the line, you got to make big pitches, and if you expect to be pitching at higher levels in the major leagues, that's what you have to do. So it's great practice for that.
And finally, arguably the most important question here today, the mustaches.
Yeah.
I see you, Taylor Gilbo, some of the guy. If I could, I would grow mine, but I can't. Where does it come from? Why is it still here?
We sort of started it before the end of the first half, and then I just decided I was going to let it ride and see how far we could take it. I don't think my parents especially like it. I've gotten a lot of negative comments from them, but there's been a few people that have enjoyed it, so I might let it ride for a little bit longer, see how ugly it can get, and then maybe get rid of it after that.
Hey, if it brought a first half championship, I'm sure the good things in the second half as well.
That's true.
Well, there you have it, fans. James Bourque, mustache aficionado, and a high leverage reliever in the Peanuts bullpen. You can catch James Bourque and the Peanuts on Saturday night at 6:30. First pitch against the Salem Red Sox right here at Northwest Federal Field at Fitzner Stadium.